What is the crack, guys? It's your boy, the Minion of AllCast Gamers. We are back again with a new event from Master Duel. It's the Duelist Cup, and yeah, it's a bit of crack. And luckily, if you did really well in the ranked season just gone, you'll start off with a few levels up already. So I was fortunate enough to get the diamond with my D-Link deck, and yeah, I started off at D level 10. Bang handy stuff. Started off with a load of gems, a few Duelist Cup tickets. The tickets are absolutely garbo, but you know what, they're free, so I'll take them. But here we go. This is the first few games I had with the D-Link version I was playing, and I actually went with Adventure D-Link. I did originally start with my regular D-Link, but you know what, it just wasn't cutting it. I won a few games, then I lost a few, and I was like, you know what, everyone's running Adventure or something along those lines, so let's just do it. Went back to my Adventure D-Link, and I didn't look back. Really good deck. So straight off, you know, they go with Enchantress. I had Gamma. I just stopped that Enchantress right there and then. They end turn. Marvelous. I get lucky and I end up top decking my own version of Enchantress, and yeah, I just go from there. So straight away, banish Enchantress, you get right, activate right, you get your token, and you're away from there. You know, this is bread and butter stuff. Activate the quick launch. With quick launch, you're nearly always going to go for Rocket Tracer just to get him out of the deck, and so you'll either have him on field or in the graveyard. It's just more accessibility, really. Then you know, you add Draco back to hand, so that way you can discard it when you add Griffin to hand, and you'll still get both cards, so you're not losing any advantage at all. Draco back will then activate onto the field. Grand, you'll have that for next turn if you need it, or you can pop it with Rocket Tracer to get someone from the deck. So it's up to yourself. It's just more utility and just less resources spent in the long run. So straight away go into Tracer, or no, sorry, you go into Striker Dragon, then Wyver Buster. You use your chain blocking, so that way you can work out which card you want more. Thankfully they didn't have anything, and if they did, you've got the Griffin Negate on field anyway, so yeah, they're gonna be shit out of luck, you know, unless they have two more interruptions. They're done for. So here we go. We use our Collapse Serpent and our Tracer to go into Chaos Ruler. The Chaos Ruler in of himself can just outright win you games, because just depending on what you mill, I've had people literally just scoop because they've seen how good my mills were. So he's really good card. Yes, he can kind of bite you if he sends certain cards to the graveyard and you don't want them going to the graveyard, you know, lightning storms and whatnot. But you know what, he's well worth it. So on with the combo. You send Striker Dragon to the graveyard, bring back your Rocket Tracer, activate your Ravine, because you know we've just got so many cards. We're not going to be able to summon the Light Chaos Dragon a second time, so he's a free discard. Then you send that to the graveyard, activate your Boot Sector. Boot Sector is going to allow you to special summon your two rocket monsters, and you're going to go into Hieratic Seal. This way you're doubly protected. You have the Griffin Negate, and you're protected if you get Nibiru. Let's face it, Nibiru is the big weakness to Dragon Link, along with, you know, any sort of Floodgate, I suppose. But because you have that Griffin there, that's going to protect them. Go into Hot Red, and yeah, it's bread and butter stuff from here on in. Use your Red Hot Negate. Now I could have let this go through because he was hitting my back row, but I was like, nah, you know what, I'm not going to let it go through. He activates Ghost Ogre, I chain Griffin Rider, and that's pretty much all she wrote. Now I could be in a bit of trouble here if he had any sort of follow-up, and I did realize that afterward, but I still had the Seal interruption and Nibiru in hand. It was over. The next game was pretty much handy as well. I mean, I opened just the absolute nuts. This is the kind of hand you want to open every time. It's just so good. I activated right, but then I thought, you know what, I've got the Gamma in hand, let's go with the quick launch, see if I can trigger that Ash Blossom. He might have figured I made a misplay because I didn't wait for Griffin to come onto the field, but boom, I got the Gamma, so I'm getting two free monsters out of this, and straight into a Synchro 8 if I want to, or Hulk, or whatever sort of play you want to go for. But either way, I keep going, get my Rocket Tracer on the field, I've got my token, activate, get Griffin, and yeah, you really want to get Griffin on the field before that 5th summon, so that's why I didn't take the time to get Griffin Rider or anything. I just had to get Griffin on the field as soon as possible. So now that we're protected from Nibiru, I can keep going my combo, link off into Striker Dragon, get my boot sector. Now I go into Chaos Ruler because it's just a free mill 5, you know, from my Gamma. Sure, why not? Chaos Ruler hits the field, he gets to mill, and I don't mill great. Like, you know, I got one light monster out of it, and that was the baby Chaos Dragon. So you're gonna add it to hand, and just the combos don't stop from here on in. Now I activate my Striker Dragon, get back the Rocket Tracer, because I haven't used Rocket Tracer's effect this turn, so you know, I can special summon from the deck, get another monster on the field. First I go into Seal, because I always want to be protected from Nibiru. If he had a impermed and then Nibiru'd, I would have been pretty much screwed, but he doesn't. He doesn't have any more interruptions. I get my Chaos Ruler back, use Tracer's effect, pop the equip spell. There we go, bing bash bosh. Rocket Synchron on the field, into Hot Red, set my imperm, pass. So my opponent is staring down 4 solid interruptions out of a 5-card hand. This guy is going to be in trouble. I let the Enchantress go through because I figure, you know what, I'll let him try and activate right, because then that'll cancel out his normal summon. Activate my Hot Red, so you know, I negate the effect but not the activation. Tries to activate Galaxy Soldier. I think I let him go through because once he hits the field I can use my imperm. I'm always trying to save that Griffin negate for something that could be in the hand or graveyard, because they're the 2 effects that I can't negate with Hot Red or imperm. Tries to summon, activate Seal straight away, knowing that he used his normal summon, so he's kind of shit out of luck at this point. He ashes. Could use the Griffin, but I don't. I'm like, nah, you know what, I'll let this go through. My board's really quite strong as it is, and he scoops. Now on to game number 3. Now I probably should mention about the Duelist Cup is the thing with it, you have to keep on winning. So it's all about getting like 2 wins in a row, and then you go up a level, and once you hit like level 20, then you qualify to play in, you know, the stage 2, which will be in 12 or 11 days, whenever amount of days it's supposed to end. But yeah, here we go. Straight away I activated Enchantress. He hits me with Ash. That was my bad. I probably should have activated you know, the quick launch first to try and bait the Ash, but I got a little bit excited. Either way, it still worked out for me because I got Rocket Tracer on the field, which is really important. Going to Chaos Dragon, he gets me, you know, the other Chaos Dragon. This is really simple stuff. This is what you should be always doing with Dragon Link, just to keep on getting more resources, refill your hand, back up to 4 cards. Nice. I synchro for 8. Who are you going to go for? It's the one, the only Chaos Ruler. Of course you are. He mills 5, and we get a decent enough hit. You know, we got Red Eyes Metal Dragon. Absoluter is going to go to the graveyard, so yeah, a fairly decent hit this time. Activate Absoluter, get your Rocket Tracer. Now I was going to pop Striker Dragon to get back Rocket Tracer from the graveyard, but because I added him to my hand with Absoluter, I don't really need to. So grand, go into Seal. I'm now protected from Nibiru. Pop Boot Sector, get Borrowload Savage on the field. I know it's only 1 negate, but you know, he stops it anyway, forces out the imperm. That's okay, buddy. You know, a good deck is able to play through a few hand traps, you know, at least 1 or 2. If you can play through 2, fantastic, but you got to be able to play through at least 1. So summon back the Chaos Ruler, and use Metal to get a Rocket Synchron on the field, and then I go into Hot Red. So this guy is staring down 3 interruptions out of a 4-card hand. He's not looking at a good viewpoint from this point. You know, straight away I hit him with the Ash, try and keep my Hot Red and my Seal, but it turns out B-Troopers can't handle 1 hand trap. Now on to game number 4. Now this one could have been a really hard one for me because, you know, obviously going second, didn't open any hand traps, and just all engine and extenders. Not really a good position. Plus he's got Zombie World on the field, so Zombie World is going to mess my shit up. I can't go into any of my links that require dragon monsters. That's okay. Summon Rocket Tracer, get Absoluter on the field, and then I go into Chaos Ruler. This is where I really excel now, because force out the negate, uses his droplet. It's probably the right thing to do, you know, he just want me to mill 5. I can understand that, but I did force him to use it up, and yeah, okay, he stopped me. That's fair enough. But I continue on, I have another extender, I get a Rocket Synchro from the deck, link off for 3. I could have gone into hot red here, I suppose, and then negated the zombie world, but I just thought, you know, going into unicorn, spinning it back to the deck, activate the Absol router, it's going to get me another card. He sees it's too much and he just scoops. So if you want to make it through the Duelist Cup as quickly as possible, I definitely recommend this deck. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys, what you're going to run for the Duelist Cup, but I can't recommend this deck enough. It is super solid.